Hi all, welcome to another day in the life of DevRel. This time I'm going to be doing something different. I'm going to be doing a writing task this time. So this is about whether Hedera is a blockchain or it is not a blockchain. So this is what I've done so far before, deciding to record. So first thing I did was wrote up some rough bullet points to answer this question, and I'll show all of you this in a bit. Then after that, I had an inspiration prompt, which is debate. This is sort of like what the prompt is, and you can actually see it here. So this was my prompt, and this was the response. It hits on a small subset of the points that I was thinking of in my head when I asked the question. And so, I guess the fact that this DAG, right? Sorry, this RAG enabled this thing called Hedera Hivemind. Right, you should check it out, by the way. So it does retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, and so it knows it's more Hedera focused. So I used this and prompted it with this, and even that wasn't able to get it's not hallucinating. Like all the things that it's saying are true. They're not factually incorrect. It's just that the points that should be addressed, they aren't really there. And I don't blame it, because there isn't material out there. So that's in itself is a research methodology to figure out whether you should write an article. If you cannot find information about it, I should say, then it is contender for something that should be written about, right? Anyway, it does make some good points, but just unfortunately not the points that I think should be made in response to this question. So then I put together some original detailed bullet points. This took me about 30-40 minutes just in flow mode, banging out a lot of bullet points that elaborated on the rough bullet points. And then finally I said, hey, inspiration is struck, and here's this Google Doc that I have on screen right now with all the bullet points, and ask for reviews in Slack. And then I've converted those bullet points into a draft article, and what I would like to do next, right, is to have draft article number 2, right? And so this one would be prompt ChatGPT with the following. So I'm going to break it down into role prompt as something, and then task prompt as something, right? And I think I'm going to do editor SEO, editor again, then social media, right? So I want 4 of those. I want this to be editor, and then this 2 will be social media SEO specialist, and then this will be editor again. So SEO specialist. And then for this one, I want this to be social media specialist. Right, and then I will share right, so that's what I'm going to do for that. Then I'm going to go ask for human reviews. Right, so ask for feedback. So this is with colleagues. And this is with the community at large. So then I'm going to have draft article 3. I'm going to do prompt ChatGPT with the following as well, right? And it's going to be much simpler this time. Just prompt with the role as an editor, and this time it's just basically going to be incorporating the feedback, and we'll get to that when we get to that. Let's see, to do all right, so that's essentially going to be my process for writing this article, right? Now, before I wrap up, just want to show you what the stuff that I've done so far is. So, firstly, rough bullet points, right? Got the title, intro with a couple of bullet points, is a blockchain with a couple of bullet points, Hedera with 1 bullet point, and then, contrasting hash graph with a generic DAG, and then introducing the key concept, essentially the main thesis of this article will be whether or not blocks are produced pre-consensus or post-consensus. Talk about some pros and cons. And then finally have a conclusion, essentially that Hedera is both a blockchain and not a blockchain, depending on this pre-consensus versus post-consensus, which one you want to use in definition. And then finally ask for some feedback in the article itself. So that was my rough bullet points, and you can see I fleshed it out in quite a bit of detail over here, this original detailed bullet points. So that's the introduction. So I've got sentence fragments and sometimes almost full sentences over here. Right? And then I'm going to go to draft article, right? So this is essentially extracting those bullet points and sort of turning them into headings, subheadings, and basically these bullet points are just copy pasted verbatim, but just without the formatting. So, or rather, I should say, it's been grouped into paragraphs, and these paragraphs are bullet. Instead of bullet points, they're just sentences. So I realized that I need to use full stops, so that when I paste it in later, it's, distinct. It wasn't necessary earlier on. So just so that ChatGPT sees them as distinct in case a new line is insufficient. All right. So that's my draft article, which I'm going to copy and paste into into ChatGPT. And finally, process, which is what I've covered here. So I'll end this first video over here, where I talked about essentially mainly focused on the process. All right. See you in the next one.